Hello, my friends. Welcome in. This is kind of a different video for today. We're going to be talking about the schedule on the channel and some other potential changes that I want to get your opinion on. So I'd appreciate if you'd watch this and drop some comments below with your feedback. So as we discussed recently, I ended the saving Servette save because I found it extremely challenging to really get into two different teams at the same time. I definitely felt like I was shortchanging Servette a little bit. Like, okay, let's just play another game. So moving forward on the channel, if I'm playing Football Manager, I think I'm only going to do one save at a time to make sure that I'm fully engaged. I know who the players are. I know what the tactics are. I know what happened in the last game. I'm just going to be more involved in it. Reducing the number of videos by 2 with saving Servette every week also should do a couple good things for me. One is I can probably spend a little bit more time working on the other videos with the Nordic Journeyman or whatever. But really, the other thing is I can hopefully start getting a little bit more sleep and becoming a little bit more well-rounded as a human being. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. This is my Fitbit sleep in the first 3 months of this year. Now there's a gap because my band the band on the Fitbit died, and then they had to send me a new one. But averaging 6 hours and 38 minutes of sleep a night is not good. And really that big spike in March that's kind of pulling the average up, it was days I took naps, on the weekends, something like that. So I'm hoping that I can actually spend a little bit more time with my family, spend a little bit more time with my bed, stuff like that. But I want to know from you, because right now with Nordic Journeyman, we're doing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So we're taking Wednesday and Saturday off. But I'd like to know from you, when are you most likely to watch? I've always kind of felt like Friday might be a weird day because people might do something on Friday nights or Saturday nights, something like that. Is it better to do a Monday through Friday and give you the weekend to catch up? Is it better to do Sunday through Thursday so you're off on, you're off, you're working for me, but you don't have to try and catch up on videos on Friday and Saturday when people are more likely to do things. So I'm dropping a straw poll in the description of this video. I'd really appreciate if you'd give me your feedback. And I just want, when you click on it, there's essentially going to be every day of the week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And there's going to be an option, I think at the top, that says, essentially the question is, what days of the week do you watch? So I either want to know, hey, I watch daily, or as close to daily as I can. I try and watch every single day because I love your stuff, man. Or if you don't pick that, then you have the option of multiple choice of, well, I typically watch on Sundays and Tuesdays and Thursdays. So whatever that looks like for you. So I didn't think I needed to make that 2 separate polls. So it's essentially the first option listed is I watch anytime that I can, and the other, if you don't choose that, then pick from the days that are kind of randomized and all that kind of stuff. So I'd love your feedback on that, because that's going to help me schedule videos going forward in times that make the most sense for my audience, which is what I'm trying to do for you all. Obviously makes sense, right? The second thing is, once we figure out what that schedule needs to look like, and for now I'm just going to leave it until we figure this out with the poll. I'll probably leave it up. I don't know how long Strawpoll stay up. Maybe for a couple days. Is that a thing? Once we get that figured out, right now I'm going to leave Wednesdays and Saturdays, or Wednesdays open. I'm going to move the FM18 experiment to Saturdays just for right now to fill in the time. So essentially, we were doing 2 videos on Mondays with a Nordic Journeyman and the experiment with the 7 kids and 7 tiers. I want to spread that out, obviously. So now we'll have that moved to Saturday for the time being until we get that figured out. But with all this having been said, with the schedule, I'm going to stop feeling guilty if I don't feel like putting out a video. That's something that I've struggled a little bit with, because how I look at the world is, okay, if you're trying to grow your channel and your community and make everybody happy and all that kind of stuff, is you have to put out consistent content. You can't go hey, I'm going to put out 6 videos this week and then the next week put out 1 video, because people go I don't know if you're going to keep doing this, right? So I've tried to be really consistent. But I'm going to give myself a little bit more of a break, a mental break. Hey, man, if you don't feel like putting out a video, don't put out a bad video, because that's probably worse than not putting out a video. But I would like your thoughts on that, if you agree with that. I'm going to do my best to stay ahead, but there's, sometimes life just gets in the way, and sometimes I travel, and sometimes I'm with my family, and sometimes I'm just tired and whatever. So I want to know how important consistency is to you. Like if I put up a schedule, imagine a wooden door and I'm stapling it to the wooden door, like, and I'm like, this is what we're doing. If 3 weeks later I miss a day, are you like devastated or like, oh man, what's going on? Or is it fine if it happens every so often? I'm guessing it's fine if it happens every so often, but I want to hear from you about, I guess, consistency in general, and the other YouTubers you might watch or Twitch people you might watch. How important is it that they are always like, this is when I say I'm going to do it, and I do it? Like, how critically important is that to you? The last thing I want to ask you is completely different, and it's about the non-football manager and or US soccer content. What other interests do you have, I guess, as a community? Like if we're playing different games, are like, what do you like? Do you like I don't know, first person shooters like a PUBG? Do you like role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons? Do you like tabletop games? Because I could do some sort of a setup. I guess you would need other people in the room to do tabletop games, and that's not very convenient for my life. But like as an example, right? Like miniatures or I don't know what. I just want to know what other types of games you enjoy watching or even participating in. Because one of the things I think I'd like to do later in 2018 is do more community events. To be completely honest with you, it's kind of funny, really. Like growing up, here's the list of things that weren't cool in my area of the world. Soccer. Sorry, football, but soccer is what we call it. It's like, oh, soccer, oh, yeah. And now it's like, oh, everybody loves soccer. Like Magic the Gathering, Star Wars, role-playing games, video games in general. Like all the things that weren't cool when I was growing up are now like super awesome, and everyone's like, yeah, let's do more of that. Like Star Wars is like this like bajillion-dollar franchise now. And I was a big Star Wars geek at one point in my life. So I don't know. I guess I feel like I'm giving myself a little bit more freedom to like explore the things that traditionally I haven't explored. Like I've been watching some Dungeons and Dragons, they've set it up now to where you can like do it on Twitch with other people, but it's live with like a video. Like you have your it's like it's like there'd be a webcam here and a webcam there, and it, like imagine a row of webcams next to my face, like going this way, and every person's playing a character. I've never really played Dungeons and Dragons. But looking into it, it's very story driven. I like stories. It's role playing. I don't know, because that would be like a thing if we had a community of folks that did that, then we could have like a monthly night where we do an adventure or something like that. Or completely different, like something in a video game. Not that I'm into Fortnite, but like we could do squads or duos in Fortnite as a community. So I'm just trying to learn a little bit more about you and what you're interested in, or do you not care? And you're like, well, dude, like do what you're interested in. So I don't know. I'm just trying to throw that out there as an option. And that will probably help me learn because right, if you go to Steam and you look up like popular video games, like you're going to get all the big ones, but is there something that's popular out there that maybe doesn't get as much exposure? My phone's ringing. That's excellent. That doesn't get as much exposure, and I got to answer this. Blah. Sorry, I bought a car, and then we've had issues getting the title sorted out, which is a giant pain in the rear, and they were calling me back. It's only been like a month and a half. So as I was saying, I realized I said, is if you go to the popular games, but maybe it doesn't get as much like exposure, well, then it wouldn't be a popular game. But my point being, is there some sort of a community game out there that you're interested in playing, right? And I don't care about really genre. Like it could be a role-playing game, it could be whatever. Like we've done some Drawful 2 on some of the streams, which I think is really fun, but I think it'd be more fun if we had like 100 people watching versus like the 6 people playing, if that makes sense. So I'm just trying to figure out, different things that we could do that give me a little bit more freedom. I've thought about actually doing some more streaming on Twitch, which we'll talk about here in a second. And there's going to be a link in the description if you could follow me there. But streaming, I feel like, is a little bit more freedom because I don't have to like cut and edit and process and create a thumbnail. I mean, I probably should create thumbnails, but do all that type of thing. So if I'm reducing the number of videos, but if I put on my calendar like once a month, I'm going to have an open date for 3 hours to do something with my community. what could that be? So I'm just looking for some ideas from you as to what you enjoy and what you've done maybe in the past, if that makes sense. Okay, last thing I want to talk about is YouTube versus Twitch. I last year-ish maybe decided I was going to keep streaming on YouTube because that's where my community is. And that's where, like, if I go live, you get a notification and people show up. And that's very useful if you're trying to, you know, grow your channel, grow your stream, get seen. If people are searching in YouTube for, you know, Football Manager streams and there's 12 people already watching mine, that's probably decently high up there on YouTube, in terms of if you're looking at like YouTube gaming for streaming. But one of the things I'm noticing is Twitch is a lot more user friendly. Not necessarily from a streaming standpoint. Like, really the difference is in my streaming software, or my recording / streaming software, I put a different, like, essentially URL and say like stream here or stream there. Boom. Okay. But Twitch is doing a lot better job in terms of integrating with other games. There was something I was watching the other day called the Darwin Project, which is kind of like a, how do I describe it? It's a battle royale game like Fortnite. But the interesting twist is there's a show director in every game. So like, you've got, imagine you've got like 6 or 7 zones that players play in, and like randomly to force action, the zones start closing. Well, there's also a show director who's like the game show host, who goes in and like can close a zone or can drop can give a heal to somebody, or, and this is where the Twitch extension comes in, can ask the audience, who should we heal back to full health? And like, it pops up, if you're a viewer, it pops up on your screen if you're watching the stream, and you can click on it. Like, that's crazy. I don't think it does that with YouTube. So I kind of feel like YouTube is trying to catch up, and that's fine. Like, I'm thinking I'll probably just keep doing Football Manager streams on YouTube, would be my guess. But I'm curious if you have a beef against Twitch, because Twitch has got, you know, if you want to get raided, there's a command like raid Loki Doki. This is what Loki Doki does. So if you're watching Loki Doki, at the end of his streams, he'll go raid and he'll go find somebody that's streaming Football Manager or something like that and drop 300 viewers in their channel and freak them out because they've had like 3 viewers, like me, right? Like, we might have 10 or 20 people. If 300 people showed up, it'd be like, oh gosh, like, why, right? So it's got those built-in commands to do that and help out. I think subbing and donating on Twitch is a more natural thing. Like, it's built in, it's part of like the community experience on Twitch. So I'm not saying I'm jumping ship right now. Like, I definitely, because I don't really have the time right now to stream like exclusively on a set schedule, but it's something I'm thinking about because I like that the community is kind of built in with some of those things, like being able to raid and all that kind of stuff. And I like that games are building extensions into Twitch. Like, that's kind of a cool thing. So I'm going to put my Twitch URL. I don't think that's against the YouTube rules. Apologize if it is. If you could follow me there. I honestly, it's been a minute since I've followed somebody with notifications. So I don't know if I think there's a notification thing. So it would be just like on YouTube where I go live, you get a notification. You can mark that. I don't have the panel set up. I have it set up from like 2016. I need to change a bunch of stuff on there, but I'm just like, I'd like to start plugging that a little bit to get part of my community that would watch a live stream on YouTube to also go there, so that we have a couple different options. So that all ties into the previous conversation we just had about other types of games you want to see. I'm trying to get more community involvement, I guess is what I'm saying in this bit of a ramble. So what types of games and where? I'm thinking the where is probably more convenient to be on Twitch, because there's more people on Twitch that would find things that way. Like, I don't know about you, I don't ever go to like gaming.youtube.com and search for people to watch. I could be in the minority. I don't know. Back in the day, I went to Twitch first from like, that's what I was watching. So that's what my assumption is, but it could be wrong. So I'd like to hear from you on that. Last thing, kind of going with the theme of not feeling guilty about not putting out like 30-minute episodes every day. Today, by the time you see this, in like 15 minutes, maybe, today at 9:30 Eastern, this is coming out at 9, there will be a much shorter video in the Nordic Journeyman, because it's the World Cup. So we've got the 2026 World Cup. It's a 28-day, 29-day break, something like that, in the Elite Syrian schedule. So I've done kind of what I think is hopefully funny, slightly funny, like news update. It's only about, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 7 minutes long. So We're not going to do a full length episode today, but it took some time to kind of click through all the games and record that. Hope you understand, even though it's a little bit shorter, and we'll be back to regularly scheduled stuff later this week, as we discussed earlier in this video. So again, couple things. Straw poll down in the bottom. Make sure you vote on when you watch. Give me your thoughts on other games or things that you'd want to see. And then also the Twitch link is down there if you could give me a follow on there. You all are awesome. I really appreciate it. We are up to like some ridiculous number of people are following me on or are subbed. We have 2,000. Well, it just went down. 2,136 people. That is so crazy. I was looking actually through my photos on my phone, like last night, and because I got a new phone about, I don't know, September, October timeframe, something like that. And I was taking screenshots as I was hitting milestones on subscribers. And like one of the first screenshots on my new phone is like 200 subscribers. And we're up to 2,136. That is crazy. That is you all. I really appreciate you. Like, you watching the videos, you liking the videos, you staying subscribed. Obviously, my patrons, I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate when you tweet at me and you share stuff on social media to get people to watch. It's so crazy. So hopefully this long ramble makes sense to you. And I appreciate your time. We'll see you next time, I guess, in a couple minutes when the other video comes out. Have a good one. Bye. Oh, one more thing. If you're a patron on Patreon, could you go in and see if you got a message from me sometime in the last month? I sent something out as a mass message to the people that are patrons, and I only got one response. I'm not sure if it didn't go through because I'm kind of new to this Patreon thing, or if I need to just take the because it gives me your email. Do I need to just send you an email, or does it only, like, you only see it when you log into Patreon? I'm not sure, but I just want a little request. If you're a patron on Patreon, go log in and see if you got a message from me, and then message me back, or you can message me, I guess, through there and say like, hey man, I didn't get anything, or whatever. So check that out. See you next time. Thanks.